Welcome to Co-op Guild. This is Steve with a review for Leviathan Wilds. Leviathan Wilds was published by Mooncrab Games. It supports 1 to 4 players and it takes about an hour to play. In this game, players are taking on the role of climbers, trying to climb on various leviathans which have been corrupted by evil crystals. The goal of the game is to destroy all the crystals and return the leviathans back to their normal state. Meanwhile, leviathans are crazed by these crystals and will attack the climbers. Players will try to do this by playing cards from a constructed deck that consists of their character and class, and trying to complete this task before any one climber is eliminated. Let's start our review by looking at the setup and cleanup for Leviathan Wilds. Now, this game has a very nicely designed insert. It has a lot of great spaces for keeping track of all the components. Everything has a space. Really well organized and labeled. Honestly, fantastic job here. The only thing I would ask is the cards themselves. They are stored in a card well, and I would love to see them turn sideways and use dividers. That's really the only minor suggestion I have for the insert. Otherwise, it is really well done, and it definitely facilitates quick setup and teardown for this game. I also like to mention that the Leviathans are included in a book, so it's very easy to just open that book, lay it on the table, put the tokens on, and start playing. The components in Leviathan Wilds are also very good. Found there's nice wooden pieces in there, like the cards are great quality. I love the dual layer boards for the players, and there's really great targeting rings. Honestly, just really nice quality all around. Let's look at learnability for this game. I found the rulebook very easy to digest. There's a great glossary of terms. There's even clarifications in there. Their terminology used in this game is very consistent. So if you find like a word or phrase, it's normally I was able to find any questions I had about how I should interpret the rules in the rulebook itself, which is excellent. Excellent job there. I also want to point out that there is a great attention to usability in this game and user experience, as to say, in the sense that, like, just for one example, the player boards themselves, they have really great iconography that's subtle, that kind of tells you where things go and kind of gives you a little bit of the rules explanation through symbology and clever graphic design. So excellent job here. How are players engaged in this game? Honestly, the entire time playing this game, I feel like everyone's engaged at the table. A big reason for that is the fact that even if it's not your turn, you're able to play cards, and the Leviathan may even attack you when it's not your turn. So you need to be able to play cards out of your turn to get out of sticky situations, or maybe play cards to help other people get out of sticky situations, or maybe help them achieve some goal like reaching that crystal in time. So there's always a lot of talk at the table, since even though it's not your turn, you can do quite a bit in this game. When it is your turn, I find the decision space to be quite good, actually. And that's because each card in the game, you can play it for the actions and protections on bad effects you may encounter. But when you do so, you're sacrificing the special effect on there. And normally, like, it's a very powerful special effect, but it also gives you a lot of actions. So it's like, ooh, do I want the actions, or do I really want this powerful effect? And that decision space and trying to determine when is that valuable, when is not, is quite fun. The other thing about Leviathan Wilds is this concept of grip. So as you play cards, you're going through your deck. If your deck is ever empty, that signifies you've run out of stamina, your grip basically loses strength, and you start falling. And this could be a very bad situation. But there are rest spots along the Leviathan that if you could plan your movement and plan your approach, you can be smart about when that happens and when you can rest to recover your strength. And that adds a very fun layer through your strategy trying to tackle and save each of these Leviathans. The variety in Leviathan Wilds is excellent. The Leviathans themselves, they all have excellent artwork and unique approaches to how they're designed, and they all have this little trick or a little something unique that they do that will add another puzzle element to how you approach them. So that makes it quite fun. Not to mention that each time you play the game, when you play the game, you choose a climber and a class, and those two decks combine together to create the character you're playing. So there's a lot of variety in like which combination of character and class do you want to use for this game, and how does that affect other players. It is very well done. And finally, cooperation Leviathan Wilds. I found this to be very good, and that's because I can play cards to affect other players during their turn or even my turn, basically at all times during the game. I like the ability to directly affect them, to like, ooh, you need to be out of range for that swing that's coming at you. Let me see if I can move you out of the way, or maybe I can protect you so you don't take as much damage, or maybe heal you so you don't die and lose the game. There's so much you can do to help other people and affect others. It's great. Now, we'll note that some climbers and classes are better suited for cooperation than others, so it depends on what type of experience you want that you can play with those characters. So who would like this game? Anybody who likes clever card play, I think it's a good solid winner for this one. There's a lot of cooperative elements in this, a lot of engagement, a lot of cool little abilities and tricks to find, a lot of puzzles to try to figure out how to approach each Leviathan. This is one of those rare games that I think is going to appeal to a wide audience. As for my thoughts on the game, this is a big recommend. I love this game. It is so well done. The attention to detail clearly shows. The game itself is super fun. And the big thing about this game is the fact that you can feel clever. You can feel like you solve the puzzle. You can feel like you work together to barely eke out the situations. And how often that occurs in the game makes it a real winner. I think the engagement is a standout feature. You're always talking at the table and seeing what's going on because things will affect you even when it's not your turn. And the setup and cleanup is super easy for this one. It sees a lot of table play. Just honestly a great package for this game. If at all you're curious about this game, honestly, go pick up a copy. I think a lot of people are going to be very happy with this one. I will note that as of recording of this review, there is a upcoming Kickstarter with our new second printing for the game and an expansion. I have been doing a little bit of playtesting on the expansion, and I'm happy to say that Mooncrab Games, they know what they're doing. They have a formula. They are executing really, really well. I am very confident in this expansion. Honestly, if you like the base game, go back to the expansion. I hope you found this review useful, and thanks for watching.